we gotta do is win. So if they sleep on you, tuck them in. Meet me at the top, if you bought, I'll drop my pen. So many stars in the making, thank you, sing. Eyes on the prize, I say passionate. I got the sauce like Diana, vision like medicine. They say patience is a virtue, so I went around the world and back again. Now NSL be on the map, no more imagining, it's happening.
Greetings from our nation's capital, where the top scorers face the meanest defence in the Northern Super League, presented by BMO, official bank of the NSL. Nigel Reid welcoming you to TD Place Stadium as the Ottawa Rapid tackle AFC Toronto for the first time this season. Ottawa aiming to pad their lead at the top, Toronto bidding to extend their unbeaten run to 3 games. The Rapid eager for more goals and for more points, as we saw against the champions last weekend. Mina Lee, the veteran Korean, on her return from injury. What a strike that was. Start of the second half, Friedland on as a replacement, puts it into the path of deadly DB Pridham. She doesn't miss those sorts of chances and led her team to a 3-1 victory against the Vancouver Rise. They are on the rise. Look at these recent stats. Last 5 matches, 4 wins. They've scored 10 goals. They've allowed only 4. They are really good going forward, and they are solid defensively as well. Let's have a look at the Rapid starting lineup. The familiar 4-2-3-1 formation today. Katrina Peterson, the head coach, just makes one change, and that is the return of Johanna Friedland, the Norwegian winger, now fully fit for only her second start of the season. Young Naomi Lofthouse drops out as she begins her preparations for university. It is a special day for one of the Rapid today, that being Mel Forbes. I had a chance to talk to her just a little while ago. Mel, firstly, a very happy birthday, so congratulations to you. Talk to me about, and our viewers, about maintaining standards, because that's what you and your teammates have done in recent weeks.
Yes, thank you for the birthday wishes. And yeah, our team is all about standards, showing up every day and keeping the bar high. We set that every day in training, and we've shown that each game we've continued to fight and find a way. So we look forward to doing the same heading into today's game.
First chance to meet Toronto so far this season. They've proven tough to break down against other teams, so maybe patience is a key virtue for you today.
Yeah, I think our league in general is very competitive, and every game's a battle and every game's a fight. So today's about focusing on what we bring to the table and continuing to set those standards high and play to our ability and our best ability, and continue to stick together through the hard times and get out with a win.
I think the cake and the candles are going to have to wait until the end of the game for Mel Forbes. What of AFC Toronto? Well, they spurn chances like that, they're going to get punished. Kaylee Hunter, but sort of made up for it later on. Lauren Rowe, what a fine finish that was against the Montreal Roses. Toronto thought they'd got all 3 points until deep into stoppage time. Then they allowed Lisa Paczerski to run and shoot and score and steal a point for the Roses in Toronto in a 1-1 draw. AFC Toronto, not great offensively, just 9 goals in 6 games. That's good for 5th place, but turn the card over. Look at that defensive strategy. They've conceded only 6 goals in their opening 6 games. They are a difficult team to score against. Starting lineup for AFC Toronto today. Marko Milanovic makes a couple of changes to that team that faced Montreal last weekend. Ashley Cathro comes in on the left-hand side of that back 3. And there is also a change in midfield. Olivia Chisholm is recalled to clog up the midfield for the Reds behind Kaylee Hunter and Lauren Rowe. AFC Toronto are led by a tenacious captain, Nikki Small, who I spoke to a little while ago. Nikki, good to see you. What's been your main focus this week in preparation to face the league leaders today?
Honestly, we just do the same thing every week, and I think every week is a new challenge, so we're excited to get started with this one.
Tell us about momentum, such an important ingredient in soccer. How important is it for you and your teammates to get something today to extend that unbeaten streak?
I think momentum is very important going into this season. I think one of our main goals is to get back to where we were before. And yeah, I think building on last performance, I think this game especially, we just want to continue on our great performances and hopefully get the result we deserve.
Thanks, Nikki. Enjoy the game.
Thank you so much.
Momentum so important for AFC Toronto today, but they're up against the league's best, the Ottawa Rapid. Kickoff is next in our nation's capital.
Hi, I'm Diana Matheson, legend of the field and founder of the Northern Super League. Are you wondering where to watch Northern Super League matches live this season? Confused by TV networks, channels, streams, and schedules? You could visit NSL.ca and download the 2026 schedule to your smartphone, but who's got time for that? Not me. That's why we're introducing the 2026 Northern Super League game schedule hotline. Just dial 1-833-NSL Live and we'll tell you where to watch every match. It's simple, it's easy. It's like the opposite of AI. No, seriously, call it. They made me pre-record all the weekly messages, and we have like 80 matches.
Call the NSL schedule hotline now. 1-833-NSL Live. That's 1-833-NSL Live. It's free, it's real, and yes, you can leave us a message. Tell us where you're watching from. Tell us your favorite team. Tell us why everyone should watch the Northern Super League. Call now, find out where and when to watch, and tune in.
It is the first day of summer, so let's celebrate that. It is week 9 of the Northern Super League as AFC Toronto try and upset the Ottawa Rapid. Our referee is Isabelle Duclos, originally from Montreal. The weather, a little cloudy, sun peeking through from time to time, around 20 Celsius. There is a light northwesterly breeze. Ottawa Rapid just lining up. One for the scrapbook. Do they have scrapbooks anymore? I'm not sure they do. They will play in all dark blue, and the light blue jerseys belong to AFC Toronto, changing from their traditional all red today as we get set for the opening kickoff in this match. 2 matches today. Montreal against Calgary to come at 2 p.m. Eastern. That is a rear view shot of AFC Toronto head coach Marko Milanovic as we wait for the players to line up. Milanovic saying he wants his team to be solid, as they have been so far this season defensively, a little more adventurous going forward. On the home bench, it's a colourful jacket belonging to Danish veteran head coach Katrina Peterson, who says she wants her team to attack the game, to raise their standards. She knows that as the league leaders, there is a target on their back every time they go out to play. Can they manage that today against AFC Toronto? 6th all-time meeting between these two teams. The first of this campaign. The last time Ottawa and Toronto met was way back in September last year at TD Place. On that occasion, Toronto prevailed by a single goal scored by Kaylee Hunter. She only has 1 goal so far this season. But overall, 2 wins for Ottawa, 2 wins for Toronto, and just 1 tie. Watch out for D.B. Pridham. 5 goals already this season. And those are the stats from 2025. Which players will tell you is all history. It doesn't matter now. It doesn't factor into what happens over the next 90 minutes. Kaylee Hunter, what a breakout season for her. 16 goals in 2025, but just 1 so far in 2026. So the dark blue jerseys of the Ottawa Rapid will attack the goal to your left in this first half, and Korean veteran Mina Lee will get us underway. 3 Koreans in the Ottawa starting lineup, which is Chu, who has reverted to a normal left-back position. In strike, early save for Finnish goalkeeper Sophia Mana. Clears long, as far as Jaleesa Harris. Pridham looking to turn. Ottawa looking to put on the pressure early. Kira Mellenhorst is fouled by Chisholm. One of the 2 changes made by Marko Milanovic. Kira Mellenhorst has played every minute for the Ottawa Rapid so far this season. And a free kick which will be taken by Johanna Friedland. Well, there are options here. To deliver towards the back post. Mana saw it coming, pounced it safely. The danger passes for the time being. This is Zoe Burns, who will operate as a right wing back for AFC Toronto, looking long only as far as Chu. Now Forbes trying to get involved. As we mentioned, happy 27th birthday to Melanie Forbes. I've got a feeling she only has one thing on her mind as far as birthday presents are concerned. That'll be 3 points in about 89 minutes from now. Another early foul, this time from DB Pridham. AFC Toronto with that familiar back 3 and wing backs that can collapse into a back 5 defensively. This is Jung. Mina Lee, the 2 Koreans combining. Mellenhorst managed to re-find her feet, find Chu, who has been used in a more offensive role in the last couple of games, but now back in her more familiar left-back position. Harris and Mina Lee, time to turn and run at the Toronto back line. Outside her is Forbes. Forbes jinking her way into the penalty area, thinking about the shot and off the post. Well, it was almost the perfect birthday present for Mel Forbes. They allowed her to run, drop of the shoulder, took on the shot, beat Mana, but didn't meet the upright of the goal. And an early scare for AFC Toronto. Harris, willing to keep the momentum going. Lee, crowded out, but they're coming forward again. And then it's in! And it is the early goal. Well, they escaped a moment ago, but you can't give it to DB Pridham and not expect consequences. And within 3 minutes, the Rapid are in front. Mana's beaten, and AFC Toronto trail in Ottawa by 1-0. Crowd are on their feet, as you'd imagine. This just a moment ago from Forbes, did everything right, but couldn't quite beat the upright. And then seconds later, ball played through. Lee managing to find Pridham left-footed and into the corner where Mana couldn't get. She's genuinely a left two-footed player. Takes it on, takes the responsibility, and a sharp shot into the corner by DB Pridham for her 6th goal of the season. And having spent much of our pre-game praising AFC Toronto's defence and how difficult they are to pierce, Pridham has found a way inside 3 minutes. Toronto looking to respond. Liv Scott will chase it, thinks she's got the goal kick. Indeed she has. The other round, I think Mel Dagenet has barely touched the ball. Jaleesa Harris, the NSL's Defender of the Year in 2025. She and Scott have played every minute at the heart of that back line. Now, possibilities here for Strategakis for AFC Toronto. Touched inside, who couldn't quite get there. Barnett will let it run into touch on that far side. Lauren Rowe comes to meet it. AFC hold on to the ball. Down the right-hand side, Nikki Small, the captain. Jung is in the way. Small battling to get it back on the edge of the area. Small and Jung battling for possession. Toronto have it for the time being. Strategakis trying to turn. Ottawa did enough to make sure she didn't. Kayla Adamek will tidy up on the right-hand side. Mellenhorst comes deep. Scott square for Harris, who's robbed by Hunter. Harris battling to atone for the initial error. In the end, Hunter's a little too vigorous and concedes the foul. That was the moment where Harris' heart must have been in her throat momentarily, but no damage done in the final analysis. Back for tall Mel Desjardins. Jung doesn't find it. Now there are possibilities, real possibilities, and it is the equalizer. Just 6 minutes gone. And Lauren Rowe scores for the third game running. And Desjardins well beaten by a sharp shot from young Lauren Rowe, who scored in 3 straight games. What a start in Ottawa. It was a mess defensively, in all honesty. Jung was taken out of it by Chisholm, who then managed to find Lauren Rowe. Quick ball, one touch, and hits it into the corner. 2 emphatic strikes at either end of the field within 6 minutes of the start. And AFC Toronto will feel a lot better about themselves, having scored and cancelled out Pridham's strike. Well, you can barely take your eyes off this. If this is the tone that they're setting, who knows what the final score might be. Jung trying to settle it in midfield for Ottawa. For her fellow Korean, Chung. Hunter got a toe in. Jung needs to be quick here, but is robbed again. And Rowe leads the charge. She's got options left and right. Strategakis on the left-hand side, couldn't get the shot away, might get a second chance. Rowe carries on, keeps it in field. Strategakis. Rowe again. Hunter waiting just by the penalty spot. Barnett continues the move. Rowe into the area, cut out by Jung. Well, it's all action at both ends of the field in the early going. I wonder whether we're in for a goal fest in Ottawa. Desjardins for Chu. Forbes hit the post and started the frenzy. Side again, Forbes then outside against Brewster. Chu cushioning it towards the back post. It'll come for Jung, decided not. Adamek keeps the move going. Friedland, cross charge down. Adamek, Friedland stays onside. Back for the Polish international Adamek. Into the area it goes. Chung helps it forward, but only into the arms of Finnish goalkeeper Sofia Mana. Chu with the safety first header, but it will be an AFC Toronto throw. 5 goals now. The young career of Lauren Rowe. 3 of them in the last 3 games alone. Talk about being on a hot streak. Here is Small. Inside Chu. Keeps going. Ball just behind Rowe. Chu gets a foot in. It's going to be a corner. Lauren Rowe from Conception Bay South, Newfoundland and Labrador. Went to Cape Breton University, just 21 years of age. But she is coming of age, isn't she, in this new NSL season. More defending to do for the NSL leaders. Colby Barnett, natural left footer. Try and swing this in under the crossbar. Keeper stays at home as the sun peeks through in Ottawa. Jung with the clearing header. As far as the light blue jerseys of Colby Barnett. Again towards the back post, and Strategakis straining those neck muscles. Couldn't quite make contact. But after conceding that early goal, AFC Toronto come out all guns blazing. Not only have they equalised, but they are threatening a second goal of their own. So many games start in a somewhat passive way as the teams feel each other out, but not this one. It might well be compulsive viewing. Mina Lee got a shove in the back, but keeps going. Just trying to find the run of Pridham. Throw for the home team, midway inside the Toronto half of the field. Chu looking for an option. Up the line it goes. And Forbes initially. Small takes over for Toronto, and then out of play again for another throw for the Rapid. Chu again wants to get it going forward if possible. Out of play again. This time it will be a Toronto ball. Last touch came off an Ottawa boot. So Zoe Burns. Rowe cushions the header, finds Small. Forward, let's go, says the captain. Cathro. Now Barnett. Trying to find Strategakis. Barnett forward again. Only as far as the Ottawa captain, Liv Scott. Now Chu takes over. Mellon Horst safety first. Back to her goalkeeper. Dagenais, neither goalkeeper will be adding to their clean sheet totals today. Dagenais has 2, Mana has 1. But both of them have already had to pick the ball out of the back of their own nets. All inside the first 6 minutes. Here's Mina Lee. Has Forbes to her left. Here is Mel Forbes. Mina Lee on the overlap. Mana decides to punch as opposed to Owen Rowe. Miss kick. Forbes. Jung. Now Chu. Interesting that Mana chose to punch, not catch that. She wasn't under any enormous pressure as the ball came in from the left-hand side. Harris on halfway. Everything ahead of her except her own goalkeeper. Thread the needle. Pridham was looking to turn but ran into a wall of light blue jerseys. Adamek chips it down the line, inviting Friedland to run. Cathro trying to protect the ball with her body, but Friedland's got away from her. He's just going to make a stoppage here. Adamek was preparing to take the throw. And on we go. Exciting times in Ottawa. Early goal from DB Pridham after just 3 minutes, but the lead lasted only 3 minutes before Lauren Rowe replied for Toronto. Her third goal in as many games. Chu was a little late from Hunter. tests her innocence. It will be a free kick, I fancy. Hunter retreats for defensive duties. Maybe Friedland to deliver the ammunition. Mel Forbes is there. Well, Friedland has come across. Any discussion about head one lock the Toronto back line for a second time. Looks like it will be Forbes to deliver. Forbes right-footed, deep towards the back post. Adamek with the header on. Keeper needs to make this. And Mana, tall 6'1" keeper, does just that. Barnett has a problem on the goal line. Just holding that left foot. Might have got stepped on as the ball came across. That was the free kick, which Mana eventually collected. And then there was just contact with Barnett. And she's obviously in some discomfort and might need medical attention here. Referee ushering Barnett to the sidelines. She'll get there under her own steam, but medical staff may be needed. Moving a little easier now, the American. Fans here in their many thousands in the midst of World Cup fever, but they haven't forgotten about the NSL, and that's good to know. Drop ball, it will be uncontested. And Mana, having caught the original cross and header, gets the chance to clear long for AFC Toronto. Shoe underneath it, kept her eye on the ball. Horse takes over. And Scots will feed Adamek on that right-hand side. Mellenhorst makes the run. Friedland on that far flank. Pridham and Forbes in the penalty area, waiting for the ammunition to arrive. It'll go all the way back to Scott. Adamek, Friedland trying to play the 1-2. Route wasn't available. It'll come back for Jaleesa Harris. Little chip forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Mellenhorst trying to regain possession. Small says no. Hunter trying to get goal side of Chu, does so. Kaylee Hunter! Fine save by Mel Dagenet. Hunter could have gone left or right, and in the end, the shot went straight into the midriff of the Ottawa goalkeeper. Hunter will be disappointed, having done the hard part, outrun Chu, had options, but in the end, made the save easier than it might have been for Dagenet. And Hunter will have felt that she should have scored there. Barnett's still limping a little bit. She's back on the field. It is a corner for AFC Toronto. Plenty in and around the 6-yard box to aim for. Dagenet lets it go. Falls for Nikki Small. Trying to stand it up at the far post. Jung ahead of Rowe. Back it comes again. They overrun it. They have. It will be a goal kick. Well, real chance there for Kaylee Hunter. She knows it. 1-on-1 with the keeper. But couldn't finish the chance. Missed a penalty last weekend against Montreal. Small into the area, straight at Jung. Disappointing. Forbes couldn't control it first time. And it falls for Chisholm. Call to the heart of that midfield. Barnett, decent cross, just a little too much on it, and drifts behind for an Ottawa goal kick. area now. Harris clearing up towards halfway, trying to find Pridham. Under pressure from Sarah Rollins. Part of that back three for AFC Toronto, such an important player, Rollins. Played every minute for AFC Toronto so far in this young NSL season. 20 minutes gone. 2 goals in the first 6 minutes. And before those goals happened, we've already seen Mel Forbes rattle the woodwork. Mina Lee scored from this sort of range last week. Pridham couldn't keep it down. Intelligent ball from Mina Lee. Mana did just enough to put off DB Pridham. Had to take it first time.
I don't need to go.
But skied it over the crossbar. So dangerous in and around the penalty area. 6 goals already this season, 20 in total in 2025. Small. She'll get more chances, Pridham. I'm sure of that. She is again Pridham now. Lee trying to find a way around the outside. Adamek joins in the attack. Cushions it, looking for Pridham again. This time Brewster with the clearing header. Hunter. It's a fair challenge from Mellenhorst. She was stretching. Referee says play on. Harris for Forbes. Forbes, will she take the shot on this time? Was she fouled on the edge of the area? She was. By Small. Referee doesn't want to hear the protests from the AFC Toronto captain. First challenge, second challenge. Small just her left, her leg outstretched. Forbes went over. Just 3 or 4 paces outside the Toronto penalty area. Mellenhorst and Harris having a discussion. Harris has 1 goal this season. First ever goal for the Ottawa Rapid. Mellenhorst has a couple. So it's going to be Harris to strike it. Well, missed the wall, but missed the target as well. A little bit of a fake from Mellenhorst. Harris went for power. Lisa Harris, just about the first name on the team sheets every week. 10 clean sheets. She's a goalkeeper, but she's part of that defensive formation, so she's certainly part of those shutout stats as far as Ottawa Rapid are concerned. 2 for the aforementioned Harris. Part of the armory of Jaleesa Harris. She has great vision to ping the ball 60-70 yards, usually with accuracy. She can do it right or left from this sort of position. It's more of an up and under. Pridham managed to find Lee, who was trying to return protests and appeals for handball. Referee unimpressed. Lee again, slightly heavy touch. And out of play for a throw to the visitors. Milanovic might have feared the worst when DB scored after just 3 minutes, but I'm sure he'd be delighted with the way his team responded to conceding that early goal. Sharp finish by Lauren Rowe, and they have had other opportunities as well, notably Kaylee Hunter one-on-one with the keeper. So pretty much even Stevens as the sun comes through again. Hunter wasn't quite sure where the ball was, battling with Forbes for possession. Turning is Mellenhorst. Harris cushions it for Adamek. Square for the captain, Scott. Scott needed to push the pedal down again. A little careless defensively by Ottawa there. That won't please Katrina Peterson. Burns in the Ottawa starting lineup. Usually plays that central defensive midfield role. Chu couldn't keep it in, despite the efforts of Forbes. Brewster with the throw. Bounced over the head of Lauren Rowe. Lee couldn't control it, safety first for Dagenet. Ottawa do like to play their way out of the back. It's part of their identity. Like to take their time, build up through possession. Scott, Lee. This time, Harris. Again, more height than distance. Usually better with those clearances. Horst under pressure, but the referee says there's no foul. The shot came in the end. Bounce over her shoulder from Mel Dagenet. Strategakis' shot drifted wide of the post. We thought there was a foul there from Nikki Small, but Strategakis was allowed to go, take the shot on. In the end, it was comfortably wide of Dagenet's right-hand post. Dagenet under pressure again. Brewster. Forward by Rollins, finds her captain, Small. A little isolated, comes back inside Chung. That's clever from Nikki Small. Now the goal scorer, Lauren Rowe, up against Chu. Burns, and now Strategakis. Tracked by Mina Lee. Burns, did that take a deflection? Did not, according to the referee. It will be a goal kick. That's where the referee was pointing for sure. Indeed, it is a set piece for the Ottawa Rapid. Won 5 of their last 6. Last 2 on the road, both Halifax and Vancouver. They are the NSL's top scorers. 19 goals now in 7 and a bit games. Toronto's 2 wins this season have both come on the road, by the way, at Vancouver and Calgary. 2-2-2 coming into this game. So being on the road will hold no fears for AFC Toronto. That's where they stand coming into this game. Ottawa in first place. Win today, take them at least temporarily 4 points clear of the Montreal Roses, who play later against the winless Calgary Wild. Pridham working hard as always, shrugs off the challenge of Small, now heading in the right direction. Small has another bite. Harris for Jung, who returns the favour. Chu likes to get forward, has been deployed as a more offensive player, but with the departure of young Naomi Lofthouse, who's getting ready to attend Northwestern University. Surely that was a pull of the jersey from Hunter. The referee says play on. Hunter is doing that. Hunter will take the shot, and it's charged down. Scott has still got it. Strategakis and Hunter goes on again. Trying to play it back for Lauren Rowe. Not quite enough on it. Referee says Ottawa free kick. Well, it seemed to me that there was a tug of the jersey before we got to that stage. But the referee waved play on. Strategakis and Hunter trying to feign a way through those dark blue jerseys. And Rowe and Mellenhorst battling for possession. 29 minutes gone in Ottawa. TD Place Stadium, week 9 of the Northern Super League, presented by BMO, official bank of the NSL. Zoe Burns with the throw. Chisholm is turning. Diagonal ball forward. Chu read it. the arm, but it wasn't a handball. Forbes looking to launch the counter-attack. Important header from Rollins. Mina. Mellenhorst. Chu. More patient build-up work from Ottawa Rapid. Harris waits for the player to commit. Finds Friedland, just her second start of the season, had some injury issues but came on to great effect last weekend. Within 5 minutes of the restart in Vancouver, she connected with DB Pridham for the go-ahead goal there. Now fit, maybe not for 90, but certainly fit to start the match, in the opinion of head coach Katrina Peterson. You see there on the left-hand side of your screen. Chu with the throw. The sunshine in Ottawa. Another throw. Chu for fellow Korean Mina Lee. Vastly experienced Korean international. Pridham trying to hold off Small. And Mellenhorst finds a way forward. Forbes is there and available. And Pridham and Forbes and Mina Lee. Half shot charge down. Jung trying to get involved, but just lost her footing. Hunter. Forced backwards for Burns. Forward by Mana. Stradagakis couldn't get there. There wasn't much on offensively at that stage for Toronto. Chu for Jung. Scott, ever present, as is Harris. That's the longer ball for Harris. And for Pridham, who didn't quite control it first time, which is somewhat unusual of a player of her standards. Mana clears. Jung just got a glancing header. Finds Chu. Mellenhorst quickly turns. Quickly finds Jung. Ottawa have a relatively quick turnaround after this game, as they win a free kick. And a yellow card is coming out. First of the contest. The challenge on Harris. Just a tug of the jersey on the Ottawa central defender. Referee Isabelle Duclos decided that was worthy of a caution. Might have been Stradagakis, it is, yeah. Third yellow card of the season for Stradagakis. She'll have to mind her P's and Q's for the next hour or so. So as you know, in this game, 2 yellow cards equals 1 red card. As I was about to say, Montreal have Ottawa, I beg your pardon, have a relatively quick turnaround. The next match is on Thursday at Montreal in Laval, so that'll likely be a battle of the top 2. For Toronto, this is the first game of a 3-game road trip. They go to Vancouver next weekend. And then from the west coast to the east coast, they go to Halifax Tides the following weekend. As I mentioned a little while ago, both their wins so far this season have been on the road. Here comes Pridham, just overran it just a touch. Ran into Chisholm. Now Hunter. Chisholm again. Here come AFC Toronto. It's 3-on-3 for the time being. If they can play it right, Lauren Rowe surely must take the shot on and missed the target, and might have done better. Had a clear side of goal, Lauren Rowe. And we disappointed with her effort. Chisholm set it up, and Rowe was in behind. I'm going to assume that was a shot as opposed to a cross. Only Lauren Rowe will know. But that's a bit of a let-off for Ottawa. They were a little short-handed defensively, and Rowe might have done better. So that's Hunter and Rowe now who have spurned really good chances. At the other end, Friedland for Ottawa. Nina Lee was well forward, had to just check her run. Adamek takes over. Looking to get the cross in. Back for the Norwegian, Friedland. Into the area it goes. Rollins with the clearing header. As far as Jung. Chu takes over. She can shoot from here. Upended by Small. Play on, says the referee. Mellenhorst. Cushion towards the back post. Lee. Nobody reacted quite quickly enough. Pridham was closest. Mana rapidly off her line to deny Ottawa. Mellenhorst kept the move going. Small. Rowe. Burns chipping it forward. Harris read the play. Falls for the Toronto captain, Small. Rowe. It's decent. If they can keep it in, it's just going to beat them all to the dead ball line. And a goal kick for Ottawa inside the last 10 minutes of an entertaining first half in Ottawa. If you were late coming to the game or late joining us, then you might have missed the 2 punctuation marks so far. 6th goal of the season for DB Pridham after just 3 minutes. Cancelled out by Lauren Rowe's precise finish 3 minutes later. 1-1 in Ottawa. Interested to see the possession stats. There we go. Ottawa almost 2-1 in favour. Pridham trying to link up with Friedland again. It falls for Small, trying to get Toronto going in the other direction. Hunter did well to hold it up. Now Rowe, 3-on-3 again. Strategakis will chase it towards the touchline, but can't keep it in. It might have taken a deflection. I think the referee pointing is she for a Toronto throw. As Sarah Strategakis makes her way towards the penalty area. More diligent defending needed by the Ottawa Rapid. Barnett with the throw, throws it straight to Mellenhorst. That's disappointing. Inside for Mina Lee. Square for her fellow Korean Jung. Further square for her fellow Korean Chu. Late challenge on Jung. Small helps her to her feet. Harris will take responsibility. Quickly taken free kicks. Forbes has got a little bit of room here. Trying to get the cross in early. And Brewster forced to put it behind for a corner. And the birthday girl, Mel Forbes, hit the post before any of those goals had happened. Chance perhaps to turn provider here from the corner quadrant. Forbes to take, short corner for Mina. Forbes again, cleared out of the danger zone. Now it's a foot race for possession. Rowe did well, and then not so well. Didn't have much on in terms of options. Didn't bother Dagenet, who Rowe has already beaten this afternoon. Ottawa with a win will stay top of the table, regardless of what happens in Laval later on. If Toronto win, they could jump into the top 3. They'd be level on points with the Halifax Tides. Mina for Forbes, controlled it nicely. Now what can she do? Back for the Korean, Mina. Jung helps it on. Friedland trying to chip it over the top. Too many light blue jerseys in the way. Another attempted attack is thwarted. And that steady back line of AFC Toronto. This time it's Scott. We're going to go down the right-hand side. It was meant for Friedland. It breaks for Jung. This time Friedland does have a little bit of room. Adamek had to stay onside. First time cross. Too much on it. In fact, it's gone out of play before it curled back in. And it will be a goal kick to AFC Toronto. Kayla Adamek, experienced Canadian, Polish international. An orthodox right back, but really likes to get forward and help out offensively. Got a great engine, Adamek. Toronto trying to play their way out of the back. Pressure from Ottawa. Just about got away with it. Rowe trying to turn under pressure from Chu. Jung nips in and wins the throw for the home team. Chu takes it quickly. Nothing doing for Pridham on this occasion. Every time she gets the ball, she is surrounded by light blue jerseys, as you would expect. Her reputation precedes her. Friedland looking to turn away from Cathro. Scott and Harris. The brick wall at the back for the Ottawa Rapid. Chu cushions it forward. Pridham back to goal. Friedland trying to take it in stride. The counter attack might be on. Scott pursued by Hunter, who gives up the chase. Forward again. There's some holding going on, and Pridham is not over impressed by the referee's decision. Let's get on with it, says Isabelle Duclos. Rollins for Cathro. Pokes it outside for the left-footed Barnett. Minutes till half-time. I don't recall any major stoppages in this first half. There was that injury to Barnett midway through the first half. Maybe we'll add another minute for that. We haven't had a hydration break, so we'll see how many minutes to add, maybe 1 or 2. Burns plays it in field for Rowe. Chisholm keeps it going. Small, with a little bit of room. Hunter just too far ahead of her. Ashley not called into action again. Harris, with 90 seconds or so remaining. I'm hearing, by the way, that there will be a minimum of 2 minutes of stoppage time at the end of this first half. I suppose you have to factor in the goal celebrations as well. Harris, there have been 2 of those. Chu chips it forward over the head of Friedland. Friedland gets a second opportunity, but can't control it. Chisholm will step in. Rollins. Brewster to her right. This is the American. Second start for Jordan Brewster. Played in Mexico and other countries as well. One of the new faces in the AFC Toronto lineup. And then Hunter making a nuisance of herself. Small, took the shot on. Comfortable enough for Dagenet. It'll go down as a shot on target, but little else. Adamek. Harris head up, thinking about that long ball. Maybe both teams are content with the status quo. Adamek nutmegs their opponents. Out of play for an Ottawa ball on halfway. there or thereabouts. Adamek for her captain. Confirmation we will have a minimum of 2 minutes of stoppage time at the end of this first half. Lauren Rowe. Rowe might take it on. Just poked it forward. It's just too far ahead of Hunter. And not enough force on it from Rowe to really trouble Dagenet, who covered up comfortably. Pridham coming deep to get involved. Finds Jung. Chu on this left-hand side. Lee just ahead of her. Rollins with a solid clearance up to halfway. Rowe turning and caught. I think by Mellenhorst. And it looks like Mellenhorst is going to get a yellow card. Indeed she is. Oh, she was behind her opponent. And in the opinion referee stopped a promising attack. So Kira Mellenhorst picks up a yellow card. Her second of the season. That was the challenge that led to the caution. So Mellenhorst follows Strategakis into the referee's notebook. Rollins for Brewster. Closing seconds of the first half. Jung trying to find Lee. Chisholm got there first. That took a deflection, took all the pace off it. And it just rolls through to Dagenet. Well, an action-packed first 6 minutes. Saw DB Pridham score her 6th goal of the season. But the lead lasted only 3 minutes. As Isabelle Duclos blows her whistle for half-time, because Lauren Rowe cashed in with a precise shot into the corner for her 3rd goal in as many games. So Pridham and Rowe on the score sheet at TD Place Stadium. Rowe had another opportunity, as did Kaylee Hunter, who was one-on-one with Dagenet but couldn't finish it. So both teams have much to ponder at half-time. TD Place have reached the break. Ottawa Rapid, the leaders, looking to pad their lead at the top of the table, being held by AFC Toronto, 1-1 at half-time.
What is this?
Whew. Oh, like real glasses, like prescription?
No prescription, that's good.
Are they real?
No.
Okay, woo! We're like, are we bringing gotcha. We're gonna get you in a business mode because you're gonna elevator pitch why someone should be a fan of your team.
Oh, here we go.
Oh.
60 seconds.
All right, this is gonna be good.
Hey you, are you looking for a new hobby? Well boy do I have the best one for you.
We'll start off nice and easy. McMahon Stadium, Olympic Stadium. Can't get any more rowdy than that.
Family. Who doesn't love a family feel?
I'm just gonna cut to the chase here. I'm not gonna waste your guys' time. I'm not gonna take up 18 minutes of this video to tell you should come support Toronto, because you should already know that you should support Toronto.
And you know where you can get that? The Halifax Tides.
Our players, incredibly talented, incredibly inspiring to watch.
Do you like sports? How about women's sports? If you don't, it means you just haven't even watched them yet.
The people on the team are amazing. Olivia Scott, number 18, is super cool. She's a great center back. Watch out for her.
Why not come out in July? Stampede, biggest rodeo in all of North America. We got cowboys, cowgirls, country singers, rappers, music artists. Best thing yet, Wild also plays during the 2 weeks Stampede is on, so you can go to Stampede all day, come party with the Wild all night.
If I was you, I would definitely pick an NSL team that is nearest to you, or just pick the Vancouver Rise.
Representing the Maritimes, representing the East Coast.
We wear really cool colors and have a lot of fun stuff going on at the game, a lot of giveaways.
Come out, go tailgate with the Storty family in the parking lot before the game, and make sure you come say hi to me after.
Why wouldn't you want Toronto? We have Drake, Justin Bieber, The Weeknd, ketchup chips.
Watch the Tides make a statement, because the tides are turning.
You like I love that. You knew what you were doing with that one. Yeah.
I like to keep everyone on their toes.
I don't know. Skip, can we go back to it?
One word for 2026. Growth.
Exciting. Legendary.
Baller. 2 words for 2026 round 2.
The vibe in our locker room is
Young? No.
killer.
The vibe is good, yeah. The vibe is really fun.
Immaculate.
The vibes in our locker room is just fun.
Most underrated teammate.
Ooh, underrated teammate. I just met them.
I think JC's an incredible player in our back line. I think she's gonna be really exciting this year.
Annika Toad. I think she's a great goalkeeper and everybody should get to know her more.
Honestly, Shalyn people, but is she underrated? I don't know. She's properly rated. Probably the twins. They could be together.
Flo. You just like her personality, you would never know until you get to know her, and then she's like quite literally one of the funniest people you'll ever meet.
So you gotta pick one of your teammates who's taking the last shot.
I choose Quinny with my eyes closed.
Annie for one last shot. She's solid.
Maggie.
Phoebe Pridham.
Tanya Bochek.
Olivia Scott.
The league better watch out for blank.
Ottawa Rapid.
Montreal Roses 2026.
Us.
For Vancouver, like, obviously.
The league better watch out for the Tides.
Halifax Tides, new team this year.
Calgary Wild. The league better watch out for Vancouver because we're ready to rise.
We're gonna end off
You
on
like
I
that
love
one?
that. You knew what you were doing with that one. Yeah. The NSL is blank.
Inspiring.
An amazing group of incredible women.
It's a great place to showcase Canadian young talents.
La Ligue est inspirante.
The NSL is a dream come true. The NSL is powerful.
The NSL is now.
Warm welcome back to TD Place Stadium in Ottawa. It is week 9 of the Northern Super League, presented by BMO, official bank of the NSL. No shortage of goals and goalmouth action in the first half to entertain the fans. Let's firstly focus on the home team. Ottawa Rapid started really hot within the first couple of minutes. Mel Forbes, on her birthday, almost opened the scoring, cut inside, beat everybody except the far upright. Little unlucky, but the goal followed just a minute or so later. Mina Lee, and then of course deadly DB Pridham. What a fine effort that is. Just a couple of touches to set herself, then turning the corner, and a wonderful accurate shot, giving Mana no chance. Opening goal after just 3 minutes for DB Pridham. They had chances for others as well. Lisa Harris dragging the free kick wide of the post as far as the home team are concerned. What are the visitors? Well, they certainly responded to conceding that early goal. Sarah Strategakis trying to set up Lauren Rowe. Didn't quite happen on that occasion, but then they got a little sloppy defensively, and Chisholm nipped in, found Lauren Rowe. How about that for a finish into the corner? No chance for Dagenais. Mistake really of their own making. Lauren Rowe, 3 goals in as many games for the 21-year-old. They could have had more. They really could have done. Kaylee Hunter outpacing Chu in alone on goal, but her shot straight at Dagenais. Chisholm again involved, this time setting up Lauren Rowe. Again in on goal, but dragging her shot just wide of the far post. So there could have been more goals in this game. As it turns out, as we'll see from the stats board, we end half number 1 with 1 goal apiece. Possession heavily favouring the Ottawa Rapid. 6 shots for the home team, 8 for the visitors. On target, again, AFC Toronto just edging that stat, and the corners. 1 yellow card apiece. Sarah Strategakis for AFC Toronto and Kieran Mellenhorst for the Ottawa Rapid. It's got the feel of a kind of game that could produce many more goals in the second half in the sunshine, as the fans wait for the action to resume, as do we. Rapids and Toronto, 1-1 at halftime.
Watching dough rise always fills me with inspiration.
Don't ever look at my savings account. The dough doesn't rise.
BMO has 2 simple ingredients to make your savings rise. Great interest rates and no monthly fees.
Yeah, that would do it all right.
Plus, get a cash bonus for opening a checking and savings account.
So BMO helps your savings grow bigger faster.
Like a triple dose of yeast.
You're hired.
What? No, I wasn't looking for it.
Yes, chef. Yes, chef.
Yes, chef.
BMO. Everyone watches women's sports because why wouldn't you?
because it brings us together.
It's competitive and exciting and new and fresh.
The women who play are so competitive, so tough, fierce, and just leave their emotions all out on the field.
Everybody watches women in sport because we're the best.
Everyone watches women's sports because greatness has no gender.
Because we're a bunch of badass athletes and we love to compete and we're just fun to be around.
Because it's fun and exciting.
Tout le monde regarde le sport féminin parce que les femmes ont eu besoin de briser beaucoup de barrières pour arriver où elles sont aujourd'hui. Donc ça vaut la peine qu'on les regarde et qu'on les encourage.
Everyone watches women's sports because they have good taste. And they should.
Because this is just the beginning.
And at the end of the day, I am proud to kick like a girl, play like a girl, and score like a girl.
First game. First whistle. First goal. First jersey. First autograph. First favorite player. First away game. First big win. First time thinking, that's gonna be me. Firsts help us move forward together. Toyota, founding partner of the first professional women's soccer league in Canada.
Week 9 of the Northern Super League. We're in the nation's capital, Ottawa Rapid against AFC Toronto. Talking of fan favourites, how about DB Pridham, Golden Boot winner last season?
Good ball through, and there's the second goal. DB Pridham.
You had a heck of a season. Golden Boot, Player of the Year, Team of the Season.
Yeah, I feel like honestly I still haven't processed it. It was such an amazing year and it's been like a continuous momentum that I've been rolling on. It's a team sport. I couldn't have done anything without the support that I've received. So grateful for that and for the season that I had.
DB Pridham, the scoring sensation.
What can't I say about DB Pridham? Honestly, my first day in training last year, me and her went into a battle and I called my friends after and I said, oh God, me and her are gonna get into it all year in training.
I mean, I feel like all the center backs in the league are kind of just like on my back.
I don't want to go against her every day in games, so I'm happy to have her on my team. And in training, we can just make each other better every day.
Ball into the penalty area, flicked on. This is DB again, and it is a brace.
Accomplishing what I did last year is only made me more excited for the years to come to just grow on that momentum and continue to keep pushing for more and wanting more. It is limitless and I can keep achieving and keep pushing for higher and higher standards.
I've never quite met somebody who is so committed to putting the ball in the back of the net, and she finds the back of the net. And I think that find a way factor, not everyone has, and she does.
You know, pressure's a part of the game, especially when you're a striker. That's your job, to put the ball in the back of the net. I think pressure's a privilege. I like being that person that the team depends on to put the ball in the back of the net. That's what I was brought to Rapid to do, so I'm going to continue to do that and help my team win.
Do you feel pressure to repeat this season what you accomplished last season?
I obviously have my individual goals, and it's okay to have that pressure. Everyone is asking about it, but you know, it's not stressing me out or freaking me out. I think it's more of just a fun thing. So I'm excited for it and I'm ready for it.
It is a busy day in the Northern Super League. When we're finished here, we're off to Laval in Quebec to watch the Montreal Roses take on Calgary Wild FC. The Roses looking to heat the pressure on Ottawa. Calgary Wild still chasing their first win of the season. Will it come today at Stade Boreal? Stay tuned. 2 p.m. Eastern for Montreal and Calgary.
Hi, I'm Diana Matheson, legend of the field and founder of the Northern Super League. Are you wondering where to watch Northern Super League matches live this season? Confused by TV networks, channels, streams, and schedules? You could visit NSL.ca and download the 2026 schedule to your smartphone, but who's got time for that? Not me. That's why we're introducing the 2026 Northern Super League game schedule hotline. Just dial 1-833-NSL Live and we'll tell you where to watch every match. It's simple, it's easy. It's like the opposite of AI. No, seriously, call it. They made me pre-record all the weekly messages, and we have like 80 matches.
Call the NSL schedule hotline now. 1-833-NSL Live. That's 1-833-NSL Live. It's free, it's real, and yes, you can leave us a message. Tell us where you're watching from. Tell us your favorite team. Tell us why everyone should watch the Northern Super League. Call now, find out where and when to watch, and tune in.
We're getting ready for the start of the second half at TD Place Stadium in Ottawa. Week 9 of the Northern Super League. Ottawa Rapid and AFC Toronto locked together at a goal apiece. DB Pridham opening the scoring. Lauren Rowe equalising for the visitors. All that happened inside the first 7 minutes of play. As the fans return to their seats, suitably refreshed. It's AFC Toronto changing their kit today, maybe changing their fortune. They usually play in a deep red colour, but light blue jerseys and shorts for AFC Toronto. Ottawa are going to make a change, I believe, at the start of this second half. Florence Belzile is introduced at the start of this second half, attack-minded player. Will take over from Johanna Friedland, who was back from her first start of the season. Clearly not yet fully match fit. There is Florence Belzile getting some last minutes instructions. Belzile from Chicoutimi, Quebec, the University of Nebraska. 3 goals and a couple of assists so far in her NSL career. Goal and assist so far this season for Belzile. So this is an interesting statistic. Goals scored in the second half of games so far this season, and there they are, Ottawa Rapid and Toronto right at the top of the list. So you get the feeling that there might be more goals to come. Ottawa 8, Toronto 7, just in the second half of matches this season, and you wouldn't bet against DB Pridham to get another one so far this season. And with that goal in the first half, she's edging Elise Bennett of Montreal as the league's leading scorer. I should also say it was just about a year ago today, a little more than a year ago, that DB Pridham scored the NSL's first ever hat-trick in a 4-0 victory against who? Yep, you guessed it, AFC Toronto, in a 4-0 romp for the Rapid, June 2025. I'm sure if you offered her something like that in the next 45 minutes, she would probably bite your hand off. AFC Toronto making sure that doesn't happen. Lauren Rowe has been among the goals herself recently. 3 goals in her last 3 appearances. So there are opportunities. There are goal scorers dotted all over the field. In the sunshine at TD Place, and it will be Rowe waiting for the referee's whistle to get us underway in the second half. And AFC Toronto, as I mentioned, in the light blue kit, will attack the goal to your left in this second half. Confirmation of the substitution. Friedland withdrawn. Belzile will go up top to join Pridham and Forbes. So no change to the tactical formation as far as the Ottawa Rapid is concerned. Belzile will be happy to get her opportunity. AFC Toronto, as usual, playing 3 at the back, but that might not be enough to stop DB Pridham. Took the opportunity early. I think it was meant as a pass, but I think it's going to roll behind in the end. You can't afford to make defensive errors when DB Pridham is on the field. Just nicked the ball away from Brewster. Was on her bike, might have taken another stride and sized herself up for the shot, tried to bring in Balzeal. As we just mentioned, 6 goals already this season for Pridham. Was just doing some recalculating at half-time. 3 in the last 2, well, it's 4 in the last 3 now for Pridham. Kira Mellenhorst twisting away from trouble. Finding Liv Scott, her captain, Jaleesa Harris alongside her. Korean Chu on the left-hand side of that back four, but likes to get forward in a positive way. Scored goals herself, Chu, this season. He has 3. Jung. Min Ali completing the triumvirate of Koreans in the lineup for Ottawa Rapid. Colby Barnett, American wingback, finds her captain Nikki Small. Pushed out to that left-hand side, but made a present of it to Chu. You've got the ball, you need to be able to protect it, look after it, make your opponents fight to win it back. Toronto didn't do so there. Balzeal has indeed fitted in on the right-hand side. Although can play either flank, she and Forbes could switch flanks, potentially. Scott helps it on. Mellenhorst picked up a yellow card in the first half, needs to be a little careful. As for that matter does Sarah Strategakis of AFC Toronto, wearing 10 there in the middle of your screen, also was cautioned in the first half. Harris looking for that long ball out wide, trying to find Adamek. Just came at an awkward height, couldn't keep it out of play. Or in play, I suppose one should say. Barnett needs to throw it in. Maybe just a tug of the jersey there. Referee saw nothing wrong. Challenge on Hunter. Scott. Rowe goes down. Referee says that's not a foul either. Rowe gets to her feet. Referee, by the way, is Isabelle Duclos, originally from Montreal. Harris. Threading the needle, finding Pridham. Referee says offside. So that move of promise comes to an abrupt halt. Free kick upcoming for AFC Toronto. On Rowe to take it. Ashley Cathro returning to the starting lineup today, to her left. Strategakis trying to feed Hunter. Possibilities, Hunter forced wide. Still in the penalty area then. Trying to poke it wide and made a present of it to Adamek, who I think overran it. That looks like a corner to me. Referee agrees. Encouragement from the coach, Marko Milanovic, might have thought his team might have gone in at half-time with a lead under their belts. They certainly had opportunities, spurned by Hunter and by Rowe. Strategakis to take the corner. 5 minutes gone in the second half. Keeper, comfortable. Dagenet somewhat impeded as she looked to clear. It'll be a free kick. Defenders love that, when their goalkeeper comes for the set piece, shouts them off, shouts keeper, comes, collects. They can all just take a breath. Harris for Chu, has a little bit of space. That left-hand side, but quickly in. And Nikki Small trying to lead the counter-attack for Toronto. Early ball into the area, again Dagenet spotted the danger. Quickly off her line and clearing quickly. Trying to find Pridham. Adamek will let it roll into touch for an Ottawa throw. Dagenet for Chu. What about chipping it up the line? Decided on safety first with Harris and Scott. Jung back to Scott, now under pressure. He's done that quite tidily and neatly. Pridham always looking to get them rolling, and again the offside flag is going to stop the run of Mel Forbes on that far side. A couple of times Ottawa have been caught. Yeah, Forbes just drifted beyond the last defender when the ball was played, not when it was received, remember. Offside in a nutshell. Jordan Brewster told to go back a little bit, maybe a little further. About there, says the referee, that'll do. 7 minutes gone, second half in Ottawa. Rapid starting the day, top of the table. A chance to open up a little bit of a gap before their closest rivals, the Montreal Roses, play at home to the Calgary Wild later on. That's at 2 Eastern. You'll stick around for that. Here is Mina Lee. Scored a wonderful goal on her return from injury last week. Forbes on the charge. Maybe needed to be squarer to find Pridham. And Forbes will know that. Fans finding their voice at TD Place. Turned over in a dangerous position, Adamek. Ottawa look to regain the lead, but too much on that from the Polish defender. Well, Zeal would have needed wings to get on the end of that one. Goal kick for AFC Toronto. Regular season winners in 2025. Fell just short, beaten by the Vancouver Rise in the championship game in 2025. Ottawa Rapid got to the semi-finals and exited in the cruelest of fashions, penalty shootout. Over the top, Forbes might be in behind here. Now can she find the right pass? Spilled, and in the end Barnett, emergency defending. Dangerous moments inside the Toronto penalty area. Harris, with that long ball she's known for, picks out Harris, takes it in stride, Forbes. Anna did just about enough, but needed help from her defenders. Liv Scott, or Harris again, has that range of passing which can unsettle defenders, find defenders running towards their own goals under pressure from their opponents. Adamek, Belzile ahead of her. Here is Belzile, offside again. Third time in the space of 10 minutes in this second half that Ottawa have been caught offside. Need to be cognizant of that. But also something of a backhanded compliment to AFC Toronto, the fact that they hold that line in a line, that nobody drops off. Discipline so important defensively. Mina Lee finds Mellenhorst, I believe. It is Mellenhorst. And now Jung has got Chu to her left. Forms ahead of Chu. Across the face of the penalty area. Belzile, nice control. Turning is Mina. Trying to play the ball inside the fullback. It's back for Scott. Adamek, Belzile is offside again, or appears to be. Couldn't play that ball. Adamek lets it run for a throw. Now, you can't be offside from a throw-in. And Mina Lee knows that. Trying to win the corner. Or perhaps more. Adamek takes over. Edge of the penalty area. Jung floats it in. Too close to the keeper. Catching practice for Sophia Mana. Foul from Chu, I believe. Trots away from the scene of the crime. Chu fouled Lauren Rowe. Was there a yellow card there? I think there might have been. Confirm that for you in a minute. I believe Chu was actually cautioned for that foul on Rowe. Come back to that in a moment. It is confirmed. Chu is the latest player to go into the referee's notebook. Way through to Dagenet. So Chu is the third player, as you can see there, cautioned by referee. Joins Mellenhorst and Strategakis in the referee's notebook. Nikki Small protecting the ball with her body. Small again under pressure. Dealt with it. Brewster. Far side. Burns. Came quickly at Small, who did well just to control it. And get away from two Ottawa players. Good skills from Nikki Small. Come back for more. What a competitor she is. Helped on. Rowe. Strategakis and Hunter in the area. Rowe again. It's between both of them, but it's going to come to Barnett. And blocked, importantly, by Adamek, I believe, as Barnett saw the corner gaping. And again, a move which might have produced more. Rowe had two ahead of her, split them, and then Colby Barnett took the shot first time, and indeed, it was Adamek in the way. Barnett again. He's appeared in every game. That's clever from Hunter. Thinking about the shot. Hunter! It's always just rising. Doesn't need an invitation to shoot, Kaylee Hunter. Just too high. Across the angle of post and crossbar. Activity on the Toronto bench. As Adamek comes forward, looks like a defensive change. Is the word in my ear. I'll confirm that for you in a moment. Adamek, Belzile, onside of course from a throw. Now Mina Lee looking to turn. Mina Lee pokes it forward. Confusion at the back from Toronto. They've scrambled it clear for the time being. All the way back to Harris. Back with Adamek. Mellenhorst. Mellenhorst will get a second opportunity. Adamek still hugging that near touchline. Mellenhorst with options finds Chung, Lee. Back for Adamek as well. Mina Lee onside this time. Get ahead of Chisholm. And it will drift behind for a goal kick. Now the changes can come. Activity on both benches, I'm told. Jordan Brewster is being withdrawn, and I think it's Kayla Hansen, there she is, who will take over in that back three. So Hansen for Brewster. Ottawa making changes as well. As Hansen moves in. Looks to me like Emily Amano. Amano on the field. Oh no, it's Nicola Golan, I beg your pardon. Golan is in, and Sadie Waits have been introduced. Chu are withdrawn, so 2 Koreans off. So 3 changes now for Ottawa as the ball runs through to Mana. But Waite, Golan can play as an orthodox left back, and perhaps with the departure of Chu, that's where she will go. Sadie Waite, more of an offensive-minded attacker. There is indeed Sadie Waite, has 2 goals this season, 21-year-old from St. Thomas, Ontario, south of London. Mana clears to her left, chested down by Barnett, has plenty of room to roam as the defenders gather. Barnett releases for Strategakis, touch inside, trying to get away from Adamek, now Small, fading one way, going the other, staying on side was Rowe. Barnett, side netting, is it? No, it's not. Indeed, it needed the save from Dagenet. It's going to fall to Rowe, and back for Barnett, second time. More danger inside the Ottawa penalty area. Scott chests it down, and it's going to go in, is it? No, off the post from Strategakis. What a save from Dagenet. They can't get it clear. Hunter looking to turn. Goodness me, Zoe Burns still in possession. That right-hand side, it's going to be Rowe. Got a little bit of room here. Lauren Rowe, all the way across the face of goal. And chaos inside the Ottawa penalty area. Another chance for AFC Toronto. Doesn't end up in the back of the net. Well, what a passage of play. Rowe first, then Barnett with the ball, which needed saving. That was going in the top corner. Harris doing some heroic defending. And Rowe trying to turn provider. Strategakis against the post. Hunter saved by the goalkeeper. But the ball will not go in the back of the net. Milanovic will be tearing his hair out, wondering what his team have to do to score. They have had clear-cut chances to add to that goal given to them by this player Lauren Rowe in the first half. You could make an argument they could be winning by 3 or 4 on another day, but today is not that day, at least not yet. Here is Kira Mellenhorst at the other end. Mellenhorst will take the shot on. Mellenhorst charged down. No problem for Mana. Burns takes over. Up the line it goes. Inside. Strategakis getting involved. Chisholm. Barnett. That's what they wanted, trying to play the 1-2 with Hunter. Across the face of goal. Harris keeping her eye on it. Chips it away from danger. As I mentioned in the first half, on more than one occasion, despite those early goals, it feels like one of those games where more goals are due. Activity on the AFC Toronto bench. Another offensive play on way, it would appear. The Ghanaian youngster Linda is going to take over, we think, from Sarah Strategakis. Not until the ball goes dead. We'll confirm that for you. Here's Jung. Trying to thread the needle. Didn't quite come off. Wasn't quite close enough to Pridham, who will keep Mana honest. Force her to pick up the ball. And they rolled it out to the substitute, Hansen. Zoe Burns hemmed in by Belzile. Hansen, Chisholm needs to be careful here. Now they've got room to play their way out. And Barnett, ever willing to run up the left-hand flank. Thinking about that early ball forward, she'll carry it herself. Still Barnett, now the ball inside for Strategakis, whose race may nearly be run. Small, offering herself. Nicola Golan, the substitute, indeed has taken over from Chu in that left-back position, as we thought she might. Can get further forward as well. Hansen, Burns, touch inside, Chisholm. Into the area again, possibilities for AFC Toronto. Not enough light blue jerseys to really trouble Mel Dagenet in the Ottawa goal. And then Mana fails to control it. Chisholm is feeding the ball into the area. And then Hunter trying to find Rowe, didn't quite happen. Here is the introduction of number 53, new signing, 19-year-old Ghanaian teenager Linda Owusu-Ansah. Just goes by Linda. That's what she'd like to be known at. That's what we'll call her. A couple of substitute appearances for Linda, having joined Toronto on a 2-year contract. Ghanaian U20 international. The distinctive pink cleats. Slotting into midfield. And as we suspected, Strategakis can take a seat and hopefully see her team score some more goals. But they might come at the other end, and Mana had to be quick there. As Mel Forbes was closing in, having switched flanks with Belzile, as we thought she might. So now Forbes, they're wearing 21 on the right-hand side, Belzile on the left. All the ammunition, of course, in the general direction of DB Pridham. Barnett with the throw for AFC Toronto. Little over 20 minutes to play. Chung turning, finding Harris. Given away in midfield. And Hansen. And now Linda, first touch for the substitute. Finds her captain, Mickey Small. Burns still going up that right-hand flank into the area again. And behind for a goal kick. And again, it was Lauren Rowe first onto it, but didn't trouble the keeper. Ottawa preparing another change of their own. Come to that in a moment. Referee says let's get on with it. So it won't happen quite yet. It looks as though young Caitlin Crichton is going to be introduced momentarily. Fresh legs, fresh ideas perhaps for Ottawa Rapid. Linda. Chisholm. Sadie Waite, the substitutes, trying to find Pridham again, inevitably just over her head. Now the change will come. We're told it's Substitution for Ottawa Rapid. Mel Forbes takes her leave, will not score on her 27th birthday, but she won't care if her team score another goal in the next 20 minutes. Celebrate with 3 points. Caitlin Crichton is her replacement. Local player from Ottawa. Played in Finland as well before that. 23 years of age, Caitlin Crichton, wearing number 6 for the Ottawa Rapid. By my reckoning, have used 4 of their allotted 5 substitutions. Linda battling for possession, the Toronto sub. Golan to come over to the right-hand side, takes a deflection off Barnett, and behind for a corner. The fans find their voices once more. Golan did well to battle on there to win the set piece. Sadie Waite's gone over to take it. Now, is this the moment for Ottawa? Those goals seem a long, long time ago. Real chance here, perhaps, for Ottawa Rapid. It's there to be one. Lauren Rowe back doing some defending. Finds Nikki Small. To that far side. As Rowe continues her run, runs into Harris. Over the top, some improvisation from Rowe. Small. As the light blue jerseys make their way forward, looking for their own little bit of magic. Prepared to play patient Rollins for Hansen. Towards the edge of the area, that's interesting. Possibilities, big save. Rowe was in all alone. Dagenet stood up and dared her to beat her, and Rowe couldn't. But another clear chance for AFC Toronto. And Dagenet, I dare say, has been the busier of the 2 goalkeepers. Here's the chance again. Hansen, accurate pass through, then the back heel, let in Rowe, but couldn't beat Dagenet, who's really earned her corner in the second half. She may have more work to do here. Hunter didn't get the strength or the direction on the shot. That was easy enough for Dagenet. Shot numbers might be interesting to look at. I think we've got some information coming up. Well, look at that. Attempts on goal heavily in favour of the visitor AFC Toronto, and in terms of shots on target. But the one stat that really counts is the one in the top left-hand corner of your screen. Offside, Pridham. And it means we are locked together at 1-1. I believe it's Belzile who was caught offside. No matter, it is a free kick to AFC Toronto. Well, last week they did everything but beat Montreal, except to allow a late equaliser for Lisa Pujerski. Here's Rowe again into the penalty area, watched by Harris. Small taking over, trying to provide the ammunition. Plenty to aim for. Hunter's in the 6-yard box. Linda just on the edge. Is that a foul? Referee says it was not. Play on. Jung doing just that. Crichton, Golan, out of play. As I mentioned, Toronto did everything but beat Montreal last weekend and suffered that sucker punch in the closing seconds, threw away 2 points. As you and I just saw, the stats make for favourable reading as far as AFC Toronto are concerned. Golan just stood her ground. It will be a free kick, but nothing more. Barnett running straight into Golan. We decided a free kick was sufficient punishment for the Ottawa substitute. So Barnett waiting for her players to make their moves. A lineup of willing recipients on the edge of the box. Barnett is behind all of them. Wasn't the greatest free kick. It's cleared without ceremony into touch midway inside the Toronto half of the field. Just under a quarter of an hour to play, plus stoppage time. Barnett with a throw. And Toronto's hunger for goals produce a dramatic winner. Linda, little light on the pass, gave Chung a chance and then pushed off the ball by Small. Free kick to the home team. Teresa Harris. Forward it goes. Mellenhorst. Now then. Zeal trying to pick out Pridham. Diligent defending at the back. Better from Ottawa. Quicker, more accurate. But stoic defending from AFC Toronto to keep them at bay. Whistle will go finally for a little wrestling match. Another yellow card, and Belzile, the substitute, can really have no complaints of being cautioned by the referee. So Belzile, Mellenhorst, and departed Chu in the referee's notebook, all preceded by Strategakis, who's no longer with us, for AFC Toronto. In my reckoning, 4 yellow cards in total. Linda over halfway into enemy territory as Barnett for support. Comes inside of Golan. Linda. Now, where's she going? Backwards for her captain, Small. They break the lines here. Barnett wants to whip it in left-footed. Touch inside. One too many touches. Pridham on the charge. More changes on the way. More activity on the bench. Double change for Toronto. Kaylee Hunter will not score today. Hunter is withdrawn. And so for that matter is Olivia Chisholm. So Mia Fontana and Kai Novak, the forward-looking players, are introduced for AFC Toronto. Regular appearances off the bench. Then for Jung. Again, fresh legs up top for AFC Toronto. Waits, chases it down on that far side. Touch inside for Belzile. Jung surrounded. Clever fake from the Korean. Buy herself a little bit of time and room and space. Crichton pushes the ball forward. There to be one. Golan takes over for the Ottawa Rapid, trying to get towards the edge of the penalty area. Back for Crichton. Golan again pushes it forward. Mellenhorst just holding on to the football for the time being. Jung, Mellenhorst. Ottawa always prepared to play the patient game. Try and find principally Pridham, but there are other goal scorers in this team as well. Pridham couldn't control it as she brought it down from an awkward angle. Scott needed to make that, dispossessed. Now she's chasing against her own goal. AFC Toronto, Harris, important foot in. Really important to break that up. Adamek pulled out of position as well. Battling with Burns on that far side. Harris hoofs it forward. Now they're into no man's land. Sophia Mana comes to play sweeper-keeper. Now Cathro. Rollins out to that far side as AFC Toronto come again inside the last 10 minutes. Mia Fontana wearing 21, first touch for the substitute. Just trying to bide their time. Can they keep it in? They can. Harris flicks it away. And AFC Toronto pick up possession again. And Golan was quickly in there. Now the counter attack. Pridham waiting. Isolated, trying to turn. And Rollins just did enough to hamper Pridham's progress. Hansen. Back for Mana. So a little heavy touch, a little careless from the Toronto goalkeeper. Ottawa looking for 3 more points. Won 5 of the last 6. Point today wouldn't be the worst result. They'd have a 2-point cushion over Montreal, who play later against winless Calgary. Barnett for Toronto. A strong game, Barnett. Up and down that left flank. Rowe did well to get it under control. Small, always involved. Rowe again turning quickly. Fontana on the run. Mia Fontana still going. Fontana, and then into the side netting. Did it take a touch from the keeper? It did. It will be a corner, and it was Kai Novak who had the shot, which in the end needed yet another save from Mel Dagenet. There's the shot, and indeed Dagenet gets a strong right hand on it to deny Novak at the expense of another corner for AFC Toronto. Well, if Ottawa get out of this game with a point, I would imagine that everybody should be bowing at the feet of Mel Dagenet, who has performed heroics, particularly in this second half, to keep the scoreline level. Here's the corner. Is this the moment for AFC Toronto? Cleared out of touch, midway inside the Ottawa half of the field. Burns trotting over, says, I'll take it. Hansen says, well, no, Hansen's going to take it herself. Burns would normally be in that region of the field. Barnett waiting, Barnett's collecting, Linda ahead of her. Rowe is there as well. Barnett forced to turn by the attentions of Golan. Fontana turning away from Waite. Fontana just teasing the Montreal back line. Left-footed into the area, Jung to get to her knees to head that one clear, but did so effectively. Break could be on. Referee saw nothing wrong with the challenge. Move is snuffed out. And now, well, it's end-to-end stuff at the moment. Lauren Rowe, the dangerous Lauren Rowe. Linda took it first time and scuffed it across the face of goal. That might even go for a throw-in. It does. Unfortunate for the teenager. played her in. Took it first time. And not her best effort. But showed willingness to get forward and support the attack. Adamek has moved over to that left-hand side. Not her natural position. Pridham, well, she's going to run and run. She's going to need support. Golan is the intended recipient. Well, she scored one today. Will she get a second? NSL's leading scorer, DB Pridham. You wouldn't bet against it. If AFC Toronto relax for just a moment, thinking they're home and dry. Jung, play on, Small, did well, strong in the challenge, Nikki Small, the Toronto captain. Now can they play this right? Linda is on the left-hand side. It'll come for Linda. Second opportunity, high and wide from the young Ghanaian. Final change for the Ottawa Rapid. Kira Mellenhorst is withdrawn. And Jasmine Wilkinson, out-and-out striker, as they search for this elusive winner, is brought on for the last 3 minutes of regulation time and whatever added time the referee has to add. Wilkinson wearing 9. Would love to come on and be the difference maker. Hansen, no power on it. Now will Dagenet go long, try and catch out that Toronto back line. She decides not to. Harris, at walking pace as we often see, she decides what her next move might be. Sadie Waite takes over, might get a second chance, given away again, kept in field by Lauren Rowe. My goodness, she's worked hard as well today. Not just her goal contribution. Fontana, edge of the area, Linda trying to keep going. But, guess who? Pridham all the way back there. That'll be a yellow card surely for Nikki Small. Got none of the ball, got plenty of Pridham. Would imagine the referee will show a yellow card. Ball had gone. There's the challenge from the Toronto captain. Belzile. Scott, Crichton, Pridham trying to play provider and might just do that. Belzile needs to take it on herself. Wilkinson wasn't getting there. Belzile could and should have done better. She was played in by Pridham. Goal at her mercy. Had a glance across. Was it a cross? Was it a shot? In the final analysis, it was neither one nor the other. Trina Peterson was waiting for the net to bulge, as were the Ottawa fans. Didn't happen. That might be their last best chance, but hold on. Pridham waiting for the ball to come. Referee not impressed. Adamek will pick up the loose ball. Is there time? Just 2 additional minutes to play. Harris flicked around the corner. Pridham trying to get there. Fontana back doing some defending. And Burns will let it roll into touch. Just about a minute to play. And I'm sure when we look at the final statistics, if this is how it ends, we'll wonder quite how it ended in a 1-1 tie, because there have been umpteen chances at both ends of the field after those two early goals. It seems certain that there will be more, unless something happens in the next 40 seconds. It's going to end all square. Golan trying to make something happen. Small, who I'm told didn't get booked, by the way, for that foul on Pridham a couple of moments ago, which I find astonishing. Scott, got to get it forward. Harris has the ability to do that, goes for it. Harris, but over the top of Golan and harmlessly away for a throw. And maybe there isn't time for a chance at either end of the field. Isabelle Duclos blows her final whistle at TD Place. Terrific performance by Mel Dagenet to keep Ottawa in it, having scored that early goal. Marko Milanovic will leave wondering how his team scored just a single goal. That coming from the boot of Lauren Rowe. Congratulates Katrina Peterson. And DB Pridham opened the scoring after just 3 minutes. There, Lauren Rowe, 3 goals in as many games. And that was just in the 7th minute, but by then, as it turned out, the goal scoring was done despite numerous chances at either end of the field. And so in the sunshine in Ottawa, the Rapid are held to a 1-1 tie by AFC Toronto. I'd be really interested to see the final stats boards. Well done indeed to Sophia Mana, who also made some important saves. So 60-40 in possession, Ottawa Rapids, but look at that total shots, i.e. attempts on goal, almost 3-1 in favour of AFC Toronto, who outshot on target 7-2 in favour of the visitors. Had more corners and 2 less yellow cards. Toronto will feel, as they kind of felt last week, as you see Kaylee Hunter. It was a game they should have won, but they didn't. Lauren Rowe helping Barnett. These second half opportunities for AFC Toronto. Then the shot from Hunter, just too high. Rowe again involved, Barnett again involved, forcing the save from Dagenet, one of several big saves. Here's another one. Rowe again, Dagenet standing up big. Then the opportunity falling to Hunter, and then Rowe couldn't force it over the line. And all in all, something of a frustrating afternoon for AFC Toronto, who, as a result at this point, will stay outside the playoffs for the time being, but it's early in the season, in 5th place with 9 points from their 7 games. Ottawa Rapid have a 2-point lead at the top of the NSL table for the time being, notwithstanding Montreal's game later in the day. So even Stevens between the league leaders and the visitors from the Ontario capital. 1-1, it finishes a point apiece. I'm Nigel Reid, and on behalf of our entire crew, hope you enjoyed the game, and thanks so much for watching.